Senator Dianne Feinstein came across a group of young climate activists. And when I say young, I mean very young, like younger than the Sunrise Movement. But they're knowledgeable about climate change. They're passionate about addressing this issue. And they wanted to see if she would sign on to supporting the Green New Deal. And she decided to go in this direction.
We're gonna go in and share this letter, and we're gonna do it all together. Share it in front of Feinstein. We're asking her to vote yes on the Green New Deal.
We are trying to ask you to vote yes on the Green New Deal.
Please.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We have our own Green New Deal.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not going to get turned around in 10 years. What we can do,
Senator, if this doesn't get turned around in 10 years, you're looking at the faces of the people who are going to be living with these consequences.
The government is supposed to be for the people and by the people and all
you know
for the
what's
people.
Interesting about this group is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that. I've gotten elected. I just ran. I was elected by almost 1 million vote plurality. And I know what I'm doing. So, you know, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I think the best advice is advice that you take first before you pass it on to other people.
Right.
So look, there is more to the video, and we'll get to the controversy around the video being cut down or whatever. But that was the part of it that really got people fired up, where she was talking to both the Sunrise Movement, but also the kids standing right in front of her. And I would have worded it a different way. I would have worded it almost any other way, actually, than the way that the senator chose to go.
I mean, it was very reminiscent of the hallway elevator conversations with Senator Graham, former Senator Flake, Senator Flake, Mitch McConnell in his office during the shutdown.
And Mitch McConnell today, actually, because the Sunrise Movement is protesting at his office today.
Weird thing to be so defensive amongst 10-year-olds. I don't know how old they were, but they look very, very young. And then when you could just listen. It's okay to just listen. I think that there's this weird battle when it comes to like long-term senators, and she brought it up that she's been doing this for 30 years. One, my first thought of that is that that doesn't equal greatness, because Orrin Hatch has been doing it for 9,000 years. Jeff Sessions was in there for 6,000 years.
Before the creation of the earth,
would
according to
she
some
consider their decades great?
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing. It's not what you want, supposedly. So I don't know if that really means anything. And I think there's this battle between like older senators, long-term career senators who want to continue to be senators. And then also they're like this pretending to care about young people and wanting them to care about what's going on around them and wanting them to vote and wanting them to be interested. And these are very young people who wouldn't have, it seems like if they, stay in this same kind of mind state that they'll be voting right as soon as they're able to.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah,
unless
and look,
they don't vote for you, and then it's like, oh.
In other parts of the video, she's like, well, if you want an internship or something, I'll give you an internship, and like, that's good, I guess. I don't know.
No, there were kind parts of the video, but these parts still happened.
Yes.
It doesn't change that.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, those kids will be voting. It'll take a while.
Yeah.
But they'll be voting. Some of them might be running at some point. You might be looking at a congressperson, and someday we're gonna play this video and say, hey, look, that was them back then. But I love that they're getting so invested in this. When I was their age, I was miles away from any of the work that they're doing. Even the people, the chaperones, when I was their age, I was miles away. And so very admirable. But I want to turn now to some bad takes, both from Dianne Feinstein, but also from people around this. So the video blew up. Sunrise Movement puts it out there. It blows up because what you have is a senator essentially talking down in an incredibly condescending way to little kids. And then some people did what we always do, expect it. Anytime a video comes out, this is gonna happen. Is that the whole video? is that unrepresentative? And so everybody's like, oh my God, did you know that they cut that down? Did you know that those kids didn't materialize in front of Senator Feinstein and then dematerialize as soon as that video ended? So people were surprised to find out that. Now, Varshini Prakash, friend of the show and founder of the Sunrise Movement, pushed back saying, we're getting some pushback that the video with Feinstein was doctored. Number one, fact, the Feinstein video I uploaded is shortened because Twitter only allows you to 2-minute clips. It's not a doctored video. It is a 2-minute excerpt of a 15-minute video. Fact number two, Sunrise put out the full video ourselves. We've never hidden the full video because the full version is also bad. You can check it out yourself here, and that is true. That video was available. It wasn't taken by Russian hackers like that they found it somewhere. The Sunrise Movement put it out. Now, yes, they put out one of the most incendiary parts, but because it's so incendiary.
Right, it happened. It doesn't erase the fact that it happened.
Yeah, they didn't cut individual words together. Yeah. That's what she said. That was bonkers. And there were other, so I just want to say one quick thing about that. There's this thing now, I tweeted about this morning. There's this thing we do where a video comes out and someone comes off looking really bad in it. And everyone is so scared about being wrong that, well, what if we're missing context? I don't want to have been wrong about this, that everybody's like super hesitant. And then more video is released. And even if that new video doesn't change anything about what you saw, people are like, oh my God, there's more, we gotta watch out. I totally backtrack, I apologize for having an opinion. We saw it with this, Covington, a whole bunch of those things. Everybody is so quick to retreat. No, watch the rest of the video and then say, does this fundamentally alter my impression of the original video? And if it doesn't, then stop running scared.
Right. I also, something that she said about, by 1 million voters and I won. I think there's almost like a lack of responsibility being taken from the fact that members of her own party tried to AOC her this past election.
Trying to primary,
And that should be something
partially
that alarms
running on the Green New Deal, by the way.
Right, you should feel relieved that you got in, not like, duh, of course I did. That should be something that should tell you, okay, a lot of people who I am supposed to represent are not happy with me. And instead of being like, too bad, so sad, maybe dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, and look, to the substance of this, her disagreement with the Green New Deal. Now she comes back and says, I have my own Green New Deal. And let's go to this next graphic, we're gonna put it up. We took a look at it. Some of the components, not too bad. You can look it up, it's made available, by the way, because of that interaction. She hadn't released it until that happened. So some of it's okay. Here's the issue. I don't think she's gonna prioritize it. I don't think that fundamentally she understands the severity of the challenge that we face. Because of what she said to those kids, she said, well, we're not gonna fix it in 10 years, and I've been around for 30 years, I think I know what's going on. See, here's the issue. If you wanted to be an incrementalist on climate change, if you wanted to take a gradualist approach, how about you could have started 30 years ago and then maybe we'd be okay. The issue is that when it comes to the environment, largely people sat around doing squat for 30 years, and we've known about this issue since long before the 80s, but the 80s it was super well publicized. You knew, every politician, every senator knew about it, and largely you all did nothing. And I'm sure you could come up with some fancy excuses for why you did nothing, but the end result is that we have very little time. We do not have time for the sort of gradualism that you still think we can do. You still think we have decades upon decades, do little tweaks around the edges and all that. No, here's the issue. When you're an older person, when you're a senior, I think that there is some wisdom that comes from that, from the experience that you had.
Yeah.
It didn't apply to this issue though, because you still have not learned what is actually going on. Those kids there understand the problem far better than you do. I know it's shocking, it shocked you, it shocks me too, but that's where we're at. So we need urgent action. I don't think that she will prioritize it as a senator. I don't think that she actually cares about accomplishing this on the timescale that we do have. And thank God the Sunrise Movement and those kids for helping lay out the disparity between people who get it and people who don't get it clearer than ever before on this issue. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.